Hey, what's up, guys? Trent again. So I'm not in my usual office with the flag behind me here. I'm just sitting out on my back porch, so hopefully you won't hear anybody driving by and stuff. But today I really wanted to talk about something that's it's hit home with me today. I had a good friend of mine, or someone I considered a good friend. Hopefully he considered it the other way. But he passed away today. He was 34 years old and just had a regular cold, went to the hospital, and I don't know all the details, but ended up not coming back out. Ended up passing away, had, I guess, organ failure or something like that. I don't know all the details yet, it just happened today. But it's something I wanted to talk to you about as it relates to business. And I don't want to make it all just about business, but I want people to understand that your life is super, super unpredictable. You can either choose to totally be happy, or you can choose to let your life affect you and let it influence how you are. So what I want to challenge you today is I really want to challenge you to look at your life and be able to say, you know what, I'm the one who's going to affect change in my life. I'm going to cause my life to change versus me being the one who allow my life to affect me and allow my life to change my behavior. See, ultimately, you are the only person who can, that's what I'm looking for. You are the only person who can choose and control your emotional response and your outcome to life. So, my wife knows one of my favorite phrases that I use all the time is, it is what it is. And so one thing that there's a lot of things that I struggle in. We all have our own weaknesses. We all have strengths. But one of the things I've gotten very good at is I look at life and I say, can I change what's going on? Can I affect this part of my life and influence change in it? If there's nothing that I can do, then I've learned to just say, you know what, it is what it is, and move on and let it go. And I don't stress over it. I don't worry about it. And, it just put his perspective today when I had this friend who passed away. It puts into perspective of, we allow so many of the little things and so many things that are, oh, this bill needs to be paid, or, this client's upset, or, I got in a car accident or whatever. We let all these little things affect our life and affect our relationships with other people. When in reality, we should be looking at really what's most important. What's most important is, how is my family and, the 12 or 15 people that I care about and love most. If those people are okay, then we should be able to say, you know what, it is what it is. Today sucked, today was fine, today was whatever, and be able to move on. I can't emphasize enough that we are the masters of our own. You hear people say you're the master of your own fate. Well, I like to phrase it another way. You are the master of your own attitude. You are the only person who can affect your attitude and who can control your attitude. You might say, well, yeah, well, this dude, he wasn't paying attention and he just slammed right into the back of my car. Yeah, you're right. It's awful and it sucks. But the bottom line is, you are the only one who can actually affect and control your reaction. You can choose to say, look, this is something outside of my control. So yes, I have to deal with it, but no, I'm not going to let it affect me, right? So my point with all this, and I really just want to emphasize that you need to be, or we, I should say, not just you, because I'm in the same boat, we need to be more intentional with how we manage our emotions and our reactions to life. I think the biggest focus should be on choosing to be happy. You can choose to be happy in any situation. I mean, in my past years ago, I went through a very unfun few years in situation with an unfaithful spouse that ended up in divorce. And I could have just chose to be miserable, and I could choose to just be someone who is just going to look at life in the worst way. But, the people around me, and most of the people who know me, can tell you this. The one thing that I generally choose to be is I choose to be happy. I have my moments. Everybody does, where you get upset or you get down. But I'm pretty good at being able to check my own emotions and say, look, like I said, is this something I can change? If it's nothing that I can change, then I'm not going to worry about it. And for me, that's done one thing that I think is huge. It's just that I don't stress that much. It removes a lot of the stress out of my life, because stress is just worry about the outcome, about the upcoming expectation, or stress is worry about the unknown, right? So if you can choose to be happy and you choose to only worry about the things that you could affect change on, then what you do is you effectively are able to eliminate stress from your life. And that's not to say that I don't ever get stressed, but my wife can tell you it's pretty rare. And so when my wife looks at me and she sees stress on my face, she's like, uh-oh, crap, something's going on. What's wrong? Something serious. Because I just genuinely don't stress. And it's not a pat on my back or anything else. It's just one of these things where I've chosen to make a decision and say, you know what, I'm going to choose to be happy. I'm going to choose to live with joy and happiness. And I'm going to be thankful that I'm here. Be thankful that I'm alive, that I have one more day to be able to spend with my kids, with my wife, to work on my business, which I enjoy, and to work with clients, help their businesses grow. You know, it's just, it gives me one more day to do the stuff that I love and be with the people that I love. So I don't want to ramble too much because it's really easy for me. It's something I'm passionate about. I don't want to just go on a rabbit trail too far. But that's really my challenge to you guys is I want you to take a minute and I want you to look at the proper perspective of really look at your life and see where your stress is coming from. And I want you to look at that. Oops, sorry, a little battery notification. And I want you to look at the stress points and say, look, are these things that I can change? And if they're not things that you can change right now, like, you know, for example, if money's tight, you may not, yeah, you can change it. You can work harder, get more money, but you can't change that today. You can't go out right now. I mean, unless you want to go rob a bank, which I would not recommend, but you can't go out and change that right now. So take those things that you can't change right now and just push them aside and be like, you know what? All right, I'm done. I'm not going to worry about that. I can't deal with that today, so I'm going to push it aside. You know, it doesn't mean that you ignore the future. I have 2 special needs daughters. I'm not going to stress and worry about the future and about, well, are they going to be able to live independently? What are their lives going to look like? How's that all going to pan out? I'm not going to stress and worry about that because there's nothing right now that I can do to change that. That doesn't mean that I stop training them and teaching them to be independent. You know, my wife's great at that. Doesn't mean that we stop educating them, teaching them independence, teaching them life skills, helping them with their deficiencies, if you will. We still help them with those things day to day, but we don't stress over what we can't control down the road. So that's my biggest thing. I mean, I love you guys. I want the best for you. I really want you to be able to live a life that is happy, because when you live a life of happiness, you're able to actually have significance. And I think that's a huge point. We all want significance, and the only way to get there is to be able to get out of your shell that causes you to stress and worry about you. So you do what you can control, choose to be happy, and then you can have a life of significance. So I love you guys. As always, have a good night. I'm out. Bye. I really hope you enjoyed and got a lot of value in this video. If you did, make sure you like, subscribe, and comment below. I'm going to be answering all the comments myself. And also, come find me on your favorite social media platform and tell me what else I can help you with.